Used to look out of my bedroom window when I was a kid, just watching the cars driving by, and they sure did. My house was near the motorway and my window was facing the road, and I'd sit there for hours staring down at the road. And they drove, and they drove, and they drove. All kind of vehicle would quickly pass me by, and I'd sit there staring down at the road, just watching the cars pass me by. Mum and Dad used to send me to bed early so they could argue and fight. My dad used to hit my mother and I knew that that wasn't right. They thought I wouldn't know what was going on if I was upstairs out of the way, but little did they know I heard everything that they'd say. And I'd sit there staring down at the road. It helped me to blank out the sound of my mother cry. I'd sit there watching the cars as they drove, watching the cars pass me by. Every night it's the same arguments again and again. Over girls, over men, and I just cover my ears again. I'll just watch the cars again. Now I'm grown up with a kid of my own, 8-year-old little Brian, and I place my wife and my son above anything. But I sure ain't perfect, me and my wife argue from time to time. But whenever I raise my voice I stop and think about little Brian. And they drove, and they drove, and they drove. All kind of vehicle would quickly pass me by, and I'd sit there staring down at the road, just watching the cars pass me by. And they drove, and they drove, and they drove. And they helped me to blank out the sound of my mother cry. And I'd sit there, a frightened little boy staring down at the road, just watching the cars, watching the cars, watching the cars pass me by. There you go.